Here we go. We're going to take some notes. Okay. We've done tener. We've done tener. We've done ser. And those verbs had to be completely, I showed you a verb chart like this, and we filled it in, and each spot had a different word, right? Well, every verb in Spanish has a different word. However, going on from here forward, unless I tell you otherwise, most of our verbs follow a regular pattern, which is going to be really nice for you. So we're going to focus on verbs that end in AR. Okay? So we're going to use, for example, the verb usar. What does usar mean? To use. Usar means to use. Now, every verb has two parts. Okay? Every verb has two parts. It has either an ending, AR, ER, or IR. Okay? Every verb has two parts, AR, ER, or IR. Then the part that's left is called the stem. Okay? So when you're trying to figure out the unique word that goes for each subject pronoun, each of these subject pronouns, when you're trying to find out the unique word, here's the steps that you take. Okay? You're going to use the stem in every single one. Us, 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 us. You're going to keep reusing it because they're all going to sound the same. Sarah didn't do that, right? It was like soy, eres, es, somos. It didn't sound the same in every word. Neither did tener, tengo, tenemos, tienes. They didn't sound the same. Regular words, the stem all sounds the same. So it's us, us, us. And we're going to figure out how they end in just a second. Everybody good with this so far? If I switch to another screen, are you going to like freak out? Don't freak out. I don't want you to freak out, okay? But I don't want you to. So here's what I'll do for you. I'll give you a gift. No. The big screen's going to stay there. And I'm going to set up the next screen. So, every single one of these has its own unique ending. Now let's go ahead and find out what they are. Okay? So this dash that I put here represents the stem for any AR verb. So the yo form of any AR verb, we got a dash, and we're going to put an O at the end of any AR verb. So with usar, if we wanted to say I use, it would be yo uso. Now the only reason I'm using different colors is so you can see that. You don't have to type them in different colors in Spanish, okay? When you're doing your homework, you don't have to type them in different colors. It's just so you can see the difference. Some of you are looking over at the chart on the wall that's been in the classroom all year long and like, that's what that's there for. Okay? Over on the wall, there's a chart. That's what it's there for. It will be covered up when you take your test. Okay? So, for the to form, the dash represents the stem. Then we add AS. So you use would be usas. For LA or usted, the dash represents the stem. And then we add an a. So the word for he uses is usa. Okay? For nosotros, the dash represents the stem, and then we add A M O S, amos. So for the nosotros form, it would be usamos. For vosotros, the dash represents the stem, then it would be A with an accent, I S, ice, ice. So the vosotros were to be ice, usais. And last, the dash represents again the stem, and then we add an, on. So they use would be usan. Okay? Now, let's pretend that we used a different word here. We had a different verb that we were going to go with. We were going to work with. Maybe one like hablar. What would we do if we wanted to find out how to say you talk? Because that's what hablar means, right? To talk. Okay, what are the steps we're going to go through? First thing we got to do is get rid of what? Got to drop the ending. And then we're going to add, whoops, that didn't work out the way I wanted it to. Then we're going to add that ending to replace the infinitive ending. Does that make sense? So if we wanted to do this on a clean sheet here, it'd be hablas. All right, so looking at your notes, where would we put, what would we do for they talk? Goes in this box right here. Goes in this box right here. Okay. And what about just in Spain, you all talk? Goes in this box right here. Okay? We talk goes right up here. Hablamos. I talk. And he talks. So that's how you do it, folks. That's how you make sure and conjugate your words. This is just a basic introduction to this, but essentially, that's what you're going to do to make sure that you've conjugated your words. You conjugate basically means subject verb agreement. Okay?